All right, so this is the goose and the cacti. It's a new form of the binary system. I believe it will eventually take over both the metric system and the whatever system the U.S. uses. I can't even think of it. So one goose equals one goose. Obviously, by the reflexive property, a goose equals a goose, right? And you can actually an egg turns into a goose if you if you do not know that. So, but here's where it gets interesting. Two goose equal one geese, and two geese equals one gooses. So right now, we're at eight goose equals one gooses. Goose is pretty much the standard of based on which everything else is laid around. And here's where it gets really interesting. Two gooses equals one cacti. Now, a lot of people thought cacti is the plural of cactus, and to that I say, I mean, sure, it's also that, but like, I haven't gotten that far yet. Okay, two cacti equals one murder, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Andrew, I think you're thinking of the murder plural, like the murder of crows. No, no. Two murder equals one murder, but crow. This is where this is this is what you were thinking of. Our murder of crows is actually just a crow that's murdered somebody. The crow has a knife. Two murder but crow equals murders, and this. I'm gonna quickly skip over this one. One murders is how many goose? I'll give you a second to write it down on your paper. This is a test. This is a pop quiz. You're wrong. It's 128 goose. And how many cacti is 128 goose? No, you're wrong. It's 8 cacti. 8 cacti is 128 goose. Okay. How much is a goose feather? This is a trick question. I haven't told you anything about goose feathers. It's actually 1.4 to 2.7 grams, though, if you were to look it up. And 1.4 to 2.7 grams is 5,280 units. And you're thinking, units of what? Units of units. The units of units, unit is a form of unit in this new system, in the goose and cacti system. One goose equals 12 units. Now, I know what you're thinking. If one goose has if one goose is 12 units, but the goose has feathers, then the feathers are 5,280 units. Isn't it impossible because one goose has more grams of units than a goose? Then to that I say, the law of conservation of matter must prove false because one goose feather can be transmuted into more than one goose, and each goose is more than 20 feather, meaning each feather is more than one goose, which has more than one goose feather. If you think about it, it makes sense, but also it means that physics has been wrong since the beginning of time, and you can pretty much do anything possible, which was recently. Aliens are real. Listen, and they use this system. They told me about it in a dream, okay? And here's the summary. I made it based on units because they're the smallest form of units. Units are the smallest form of units. They probed me, and